Lately, the last year and a half or something like that, there have been a big turmoil in where you were involved to, related to the graces. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of it, how everything came out the first time, and how the things went?
I think that the graces tried to get somehow connection to Europe. They did in America insult. If I say the graces, I have to correct myself. You know, I think it's Hoy and Gracie, which he calls him the head of the clan, and his little brother Hoyce. You know, it's just the ego macho thing what's going on. It's just about money. He insulted all these well-known fighters that have been undefeated in their styles, the sport and everything. They never were really interested in self-defense. Even Benny Urquidez, I know, is a very nice gentleman. Chuck Norris, a very beautiful man. Bob Wall, Gene LaBelle. I mean, he's a tough man. Gene LaBelle is a very great wrestler and grappler and stuff. You know, those people helped Hoy and Gracie in the beginning. So, and then he used them basically. It's basically the same thing what William Chung did with the other people. And after he got powerful, he brought his brothers over. So he had his soldiers, let's say this way, his family he calls always, and his so-called pride behind him, so he could have an easy big mouth. You know, when he was alone there, he was keeping his mouth quite shut. Anyway, so he insulted this, and then they start this stuff with the UFC and all. So they get the media, get the power, they get all this magazine stuff, and he got much far. So he said, okay, well, we have to go to Europe, make money. So far as I've been informed, with their promoter, so I even don't want to mention his name. And well, see, after they get the power with the media, the UFC, so they've been put in all these magazine stuff, so get power, like, being known. And yeah, he started to challenge all these people in America first, and now they try to find a way to get to Europe. So of course they have to go some well-known, to find some well-known people with names to insult them and challenge them. And they probably thought they're not going to fight, so just to get the publicity, and they thought probably I'm not going to fight. So the promoter called me one day and asked me did I want to participate at the UFC. So he gave me an offer, you know, and I said, well, thank you very much, but I don't respect those kind of tournaments. I think they are not good for the art. But thank you very much. So that's it. So we hung up the phone. 2-3 days later, there's this internet, the computer network, and it's worldwide. All of a sudden, my students call me from everywhere in the United States. They say, well, Sifu, there's some people from the Gracies that saying that you're a chicken, so that I'm a coward, basically. I wouldn't accept the challenge of the Gracies. Well, till today, I never been challenged by them, just only bad mouth. And I said, whoa, well, so I called the promoter back and I just shot at him. I called him with some bad words that if he has any problems, he can come fight and tell the Gracies. They have a problem with me, come down on the street, we fight. But don't do this, you know, like dirty trick. And that's basically it. And then they start to put this more on the internet to just insult me more or talk bad. And then Hoy and Gracie never said, oh, he didn't write anything. He always denied, but this guy is a student. So each time I talk with Hoy and Gracie or the Art David, the promoter, whatever, now I mention his name, I hate him. And what's happened is just a couple hours later is an internet, so it must be a connection there, right? So if everybody thinks logical, it's so easy to see these people the way they work. And well, as you say, the mass is stupid, you know, they're not so smart, the mass, they just follow anything you want to sell them. This is what basically happens in America. And just few people, they really see the way this business goes. So anyway, he tries to get this people from Europe to get famous all over. So, well, with me, that's the wrong guy. And this goes like back and forth in the internet, and I just had enough. So I wrote a big challenge. I said, okay, basically I accept their challenge. If you remember in all these early 90s, Hoy and Gracie put the advertising always that he challenged Mike Tyson, but basically he never challenged himself, anybody, but I think he's a big coward. He doesn't want to fight himself. They offer $100,000 to everybody who wants to fight the Gracies, if you remember. So now everything has changed. All of a sudden this never exists. They never challenged Mike Tyson stuff. And then the UFC came and, you know, and, well, I don't know, they bring all these people in, they never had titles, big guys, big ugly guys with tattoos, and they give them some world champion titles. One guy is, whatever, 300 pounds something, give him a sumo title. Well, I'm just wondering why they don't invite the real sumo federation or insult them. I think this would be a much more interesting game, right? So the Japanese, whatever. And that's basically it. So you start really insulting. And then I wrote my challenge. I said, okay, I accept your challenge, basically. Well, but I'm going to fight not under your terms. I fight, if I ever fight in the UFC, for all the money, if this goes on the charity, and I don't want any rules there. Because they claim always there's no rules, but there are rules. And then all this stuff started, and then the promoter tried to sue me about with the lawyers that I said the fights are no real and stuff like this. Muhammad never said they're really no real, but there are rules, you know what I'm saying? And that makes for me it's not real, you know, because what they promise or claim is not really there. And also, you know, it's easy to have big guys that don't know so much how to avoid a punch. It looks always brutal. You know? I hit you, you hit me. If you don't know how to defend, it looks always ugly, and people say, oh, this is the brutal fight. I mean, if you look at the advertising, it's like the most real fights of blood and stuff. I mean, hey, who needs this today? If you look at the news, we have everywhere wars, and Rwanda, 1 million people killed each other. In Sarajevo, you know this. So we don't need people like Hoy and Gracie and sells blood on the TV. We have enough of this, and I really don't like this, and I have zero respect for somebody like Hoy and Gracie. And well, at least if he would put his mouth where his word is and come down and fight me really himself, because he's the guy who started everything, and he should come and fight me himself on the street, which he never wanted. So he hiding himself behind this big family. He sells all these videos, and if you listen to the videos, and one he mentioned, well, there was in Brazil one time some other, I think karate school or whatever, that talked bad about the Gracie Jutsu. So some of my brothers went to their school, and after that, they pick up some black belt, beat them, and the whole school looked like after a gas bomb explosion. I mean, hang on, we don't need another, Holocaust or something, whatever. I don't want to go too far, because all these videotapes, if you listen psychologically, is just threatening people. If you buy this tape, you sit there and you average person, you go like, these guys must be very tough or lick, and they're threatening you. You know, but I can see the game. You know, I'm a military. I know what's prize is. Well, I know what fight is. I don't care Hoy and Gracie or Hoyce, because these guys are start the thing. And if Hoy and Gracie is ready, I'm gonna fight him anytime. You just need to put his suit and tie down and come down on the street. But he doesn't want it because he's retired, right? But he's not ashamed to challenge the great Jean LaBelle, which is 65 years, is retired. Or he's not ashamed to challenge Benny O'Keefe, which is retired. But he himself is retired. Doesn't want to fight. I mean, there's no logical thing behind it, you know, thought. And then he wants to fight me in his own school in California, or he thinks I'm stupid or something, I don't know. He wants to fight me at the police academy, and he says one time he's a member of the academy, then he claims that, oh, there is no membership.